right, here we are once again. I just threw a bunch of notes on my other screen here, and we're going to see what happens tonight. Travis Allostasis here with the Human Upgrade Project. As always, we're going to jump into random facts for the day, because I like to do what I call random squared here in the beginning to see if anybody might join us here. If you don't want to listen to random squared and learn some interesting tidbit facts that you can use to make yourself super nerdy, just fast forward about 3 minutes. If you're watching this on a replay, just fast forward about 3 minutes. If you're watching this live, which nobody is, then you don't have to worry about it. It's even better. So, today's random facts. Random interesting facts for the day. 3 of them. Number 1. I'm going to read this because some of these are long. I don't know. But these are way better than those weird random holidays that I was trying to. Some were interesting and some were just like lame. Anyways, number 1. If you cut down a cactus in Arizona, you are penalized or penalized, depending on where you live and what you say. You can be penalized for up to 25 years in jail. I don't know if that's any cactus or like a saguaro cactus. Yeah. It's similar to cutting down a protected tree species. So there's that. That's number 1. Okay, number 2. The Buddha, commonly depicted in statues and pictures, is a different person entirely. What do you mean by that? Oh, the real Buddha was actually incredibly skinny because of self-deprivation. Right? I guess that's weird. I mean, I think we all probably knew that, but there's always the big fat Buddha. I'd like to ask some people that are into Buddhism about that, and if they know why that is. That would be kind of just a random interesting fact. If I find that out, I'll let you know for sure, because I'm sure that you would be fascinated with that also. Number 3, this one's nice because if you live in Colorado like I do, there's still an active volcano here. I'm not sure how up-to-date this information is that I have, but it last erupted about the same time as the pyramids were being built in Egypt. I'm not sure who was there to verify that, but that's your random facts for the day. Nailed that one right at 3 minutes. So let's jump right in. This is going to be kind of short. Like I said, I just threw some information together tonight. So let's jump in here and see what happens. Travis Allostasis here with the Human Upgrade Project, where we dissect, deconstruct, and determine what it is to be and what it takes to be remarkable. Because have you ever wondered how some people can be so extraordinary and remarkable and others aren't? What are those people doing? My live stream just blinked on at me. So what are those people doing? And how can we use either what they're doing or information that is available from what I've learned and what we have learned together to be even more extraordinary and remarkable than we already are? And upgrade, aka Human Upgrade Project, to that next most extraordinary, remarkable version of ourselves. And in tonight's episode number 42, I'm getting up there. Here's the title: Why You Shouldn't Care As Much About Homeostasis, and I'll explain what that is in a minute if you don't know what that is. And homeostasis versus allostasis. So first, real quick, I was listening to, how did I come up with this? Well, actually, I was listening to a podcast a month or 2 ago, where one of the guests, and I really should write this stuff down. I just listen to these things, and then like months later, I was like, oh yeah, I heard that thing. So one of the guests was talking about allostasis versus homeostasis, and I didn't know a lot about allostasis actually. I'd heard the term before, but I've also heard the term homeostasis. And if you don't know what homeostasis is, I'm going to read something that I found on the interwebs, and then I will explain what it is, because this may not make sense at first, but it will. The more you watch, the more you learn, the more you understand, and that's just how it is. Like I said, I don't make the rules. So homeostasis refers to a process that maintains body systems such as pH, blood pH, body temperature, just normal body processes, but within a narrow operating range. Is basically what keeps you alive and keeps you functioning normally as a human being. That's what homeostasis is. It's keeping everything just running normally. It's like doing a tune-up on your car or any piece of equipment that you use. To keep it running, you just keep it in good shape, and it just does what it's supposed to do. Allostasis, I'm going to read this one to you also, and then I'm going to get into the difference and why I am talking about this. But allostasis refers to maintaining stability through altering physiological parameters to counteract challenges. What does that mean? It kind of gets into what I talked about in previous episodes when I mentioned something called hormesis. What's hormesis? So I'm defining all this in the beginning so that when I start rambling on about it here in a minute, you'll understand why and the importance of the distinction between homeostasis and allostasis. So hormesis. Hormesis, I don't have the definition up here, but hormesis is basically subjecting your body, subjecting yourself, introducing into your body things, or subjecting your body to things that would kill you in excessive amounts. However, by only introducing small, minute amounts of that, you're able to become stronger, aka, or for example, cold exposure, doing the river. I've talked about this in the past. I think I've talked about this too. There's been, I should look this up. There was at least one guy, maybe a couple guys that did experiments way long time ago, back in history, drinking strychnine, the poison. However, they would do minute amounts of it, and they did it for long enough that they were able to literally just drink a bunch of strychnine, and it didn't kill them. Because through hormesis, their body had adapted and become stronger that way. Obviously, that's stupid, and you would die eventually because you'd probably get cancer or something from drinking poison all the time. The point is, that's what makes hormesis and allostasis so similar. There's this another thing called the allostatic buffering capacity. And I'm not going to get into that and all these super nerdy technical things right now, but that plays into the hormesis hermetic effect of certain things on your body and making it stronger. So, homeostasis, right? Just about regulating, keeping your body running, keeping yourself at a normal rate. Think about it like this. It's like keeping your body complacent, right? You know how when you do something over and over again, you just get kind of used to doing it, and it's just the thing you do, and you just take it for granted because that's just the way it is. And maybe you don't do the things you need to do because you're just working fine as you are. That's homeostasis. And that is a great recipe for getting nowhere and being unremarkable and unextraordinary, in my opinion. Because why would you just want to maintain what you're doing and be in this homeostatic state all the time and not push yourself? There is a benefit to homeostasis, and I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about maintaining the proper levels of the things that you need to stay alive. I'm talking about the fact that this is about being extraordinary and remarkable. And if you're only focused on homeostasis, you're not going to be remarkable or extraordinary because there's no reason to push beyond that homeostatic state. Whereas allostasis is pushing your body, for example, in the gym, to and using eustress versus distress and all this stuff. Won't get into that either, but it's causing your body to adapt to become stronger through stress, through good stress. And that's where the hormetic effect comes in with hormesis and all of that. So the question I have for you is, are you in a homeostatic mode most of the time, or you're just kind of like coasting along, looking forward, maintaining what you already have? Or are you in an allostatic mode where you're pushing to the next level? The other reason I bring this up too is because I've seen supplements, I've seen marketing done that touts the benefits of the supplement because it keeps your body in a homeostatic state. Which, sure, that's cool if you can maintain that, but if you're not adding in the allostatic, and if you're not adding in allostasis on top of that to push to the next level, to create a new normal. Here's another example. You're basically creating a new normal every time you use the allostasis effect. It's not really an effect. Every time you use allostasis to push to a new level, that's your new norm, right? You set the bar here and you achieve that, then when you reach that point, that's your new norm. This is the way it is. Like the fact, like going to the gym for me, that's just what I do. Actually, it's not what I do, it's who I am. When I eat good, that's just what I am. It's not something I do. When I study or when I read these nerdy things or whatever, that's just who I am. Because it's my norm. But then I have to push beyond that to actually reach. I bit my tongue. Fun. You have to push beyond that every time you reach that new level, right? You can stop, but then you stop growing. If you're not growing, you're dying. That's kind of how it works. Somebody said that. I didn't bother to remember who. Most of the things, like I feel like I have a pretty good memory, but a lot of things I'm just like, yeah, I'll remember that one part. I need to start giving credit for a lot of these things. So quick recap. This is going to be short, like I said. I'm going to get more into this in the future because this is actually really important, especially allostasis and hormesis. Quick recap. Homeostasis is maintaining, I'm just going to read this again because now it'll make sense to you that I've gone through all of that and explained everything. Homeostasis refers to but it does it within a very narrow operating range. And it keeps it within that range unless you use allostasis to push it outside that range to become stronger, mentally, physically, or spiritually. All right? Anytime you start something new, it's not easy when you first start it, but after you do it for a little while, it becomes easier. And that's where you start. You set the bar here, move up to that bar, now it's easy. Now that's a new homeostasis, homeostatic phase, mode, whatever you want to call it, that you're in. So, the big question is, are you being complacent with where you're at and trying to achieve this homeostasis? Or now, are you going to use allostasis to push yourself, your mind, body, to a new level and become even more remarkable and extraordinary? Because we're all at different levels of remarkable and extraordinary. I honestly believe that. Some people are obviously at higher levels, and those are the people that we need to learn from. And that's why I do this. And with that said, if any of this made sense at all, and you liked any of this, and you like any of the other episodes, feel free to share, like, comment, ask me questions, because I know sometimes I get off on a tangent. I didn't put together a real detailed episode tonight, but I wanted to just share this because it hit me on the way home after 3 hours at the ballet school doing dance and rehearsal for Nutcracker, which is coming up in December. So if you're in my area, come watch. It's really good, actually. So questions, comments, concerns, all of that good stuff. I'm happy to participate in a conversation. And like I said, I'll be bringing up this topic again in the future. And with that said, make it an amazing day, because it's better than the alternative.